Every single Tuesday at this time, we're joined by our friend Mark Schlereth, of course, the NFL on Fox 104.3 out there in Denver, the Fan. And, of course, he's on the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Mark, thanks for joining us yet again, our friend. We love having you on the program. Let's start with Josh McDaniels, of course. A couple of weeks ago, you mentioned Hurricane Josh and living through the experience in Denver years ago. Are you surprised that McDaniels has reportedly been given assurances that he's safe and he'll be back next year?
The dreaded vote of confidence. Like, that never works, right? Don't you automatically get fired when they come out to you the dreaded vote of confidence? I don't know that I've ever heard a guy get a vote of confidence that didn't later get fired. I haven't done the math on that, but that is always how it happens. They've had, two owner-coach meetings, and now the dreaded vote of confidence? Isn't that a recipe for getting fired? I mean, this could be the game. I mean, you want to talk about two coaches on the hot seat. Josh McDaniels with the Raiders, Nathaniel Hackett with the Broncos. I'm calling the game for Fox. Raiders, I'm calling Raiders Broncos.
Good luck. Good luck with that, Mark.
This is like taking a swim in a lava flow. I mean, this is not good.
Can you tell if you're in a locker room within, what are we in? We're going into week 11 if a coach just isn't the coach, Mark?
Sure. Hey, listen, this is a game invented by PE majors, played by PE majors. I'm a general studies graduate from the University of Idaho. Means my education's an inch deep and a mile wide. Like, I know a little bit about a lot of things, but I ain't no genius, man. I played football for a living. I know the game. Beyond that, I don't know much. And one thing players have, and I'm not saying players are dumb, they're incredibly smart at football. They understand it. But one thing that every guy I've ever been around has a great sense of is a great common sense, horse sense approach to people. Players know when you don't know. Players know when you're a fraud. Players know but you ain't got it. And when that happens, boy, there ain't no reeling it back in. Like, they understand when you don't get it, when you aren't authentic, when you aren't, all that. And they'll turn you off in a heartbeat. Like, why were people so excited in Indianapolis to get Jeff Saturday? Like, the players. Because what's the first thing he did? The first thing he did was he looked at his quarterback. He looked at the film and said, my quarterback is not the issue. Matt Ryan was not the issue. Matt Ryan can play. He can throw it. Now, if we don't block for him and we let him get hit 16 times a game, that's on us. That's on us as coaches. I always say, I don't even know if I've said it in this interview or not, but put a guy in a position to fail. Don't act surprised when he fails. You're the dumbass that put him in that position. Right?
Right.
So Jeff Saturday comes in, like, the players know who can play. The players know that they let Matt Ryan down and he got his ass benched. They know what went down. So you know what happens? He walks in there and goes, I don't care that you guys don't want to pay him his $17 million in bonuses or whatever it is if he plays every game. That's the best player. That's the guy that's playing, or don't hire me. So instantly you get credibility. You walk into that locker room and they're like, okay, all right, I get where this guy's coming from. Like, this guy's all right by us. And they went out and played their asses off. And all those issues they had up front, and all those issues they had with play calling, man, they ran the football. They were tied together with what they wanted to do. There was a rhythm and a sense that hey, there was a quick passing game in structure. They ran the RPO stuff to perfection, and Matt Ryan runs it exceptionally well. Matt Ryan can't run 2 inches, and yet they're running RPO games, and he's dicing people up because as a defender, when you flag that ball out there, it's almost impossible not to react. And so, like, all Matt Ryan needs is for you to stop your feet for 2 seconds. It just was like, those are the things that go on. I'm always fascinated by the juxtaposition of simplicity and complexity that makes this game roll. And it's not that hard. It really, you block people and you tackle people, and you're going to have a pretty damn good football team.
Mark Schlereth is with us. He's on the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Mark, any concern with the Bills after Josh Allen's thrown, what now? Is it 4 red zone picks the last 2 weeks, or not so much concerned he'll figure it out?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you address it, you look at it. Why has it happened? Sometimes it's probably a lack of balance in their offense at times, game time situations and all those things. But let's just face it, Josh Allen is that dude's a freak show.
Yeah.
I mean, and then on top of it, man, he's running I'd be more concerned about all the carries he gets and the fact that he runs like he's a fullback. I mean, that would be my bigger concern than a few red zone interceptions in tight games where you got to make a play happen. Like, that stuff is going to happen. And those guys on the defensive side, they'll change their looks. They'll change the pre-snap to post-snap. And you're trying to fit a tight ball in there in a situation where you need to win a game. So, I mean, I get that stuff happens. You want to eliminate some of that stuff and you want to be a little bit more judicious in those situations. But, there comes a time in every game where you got to go make a play. And, hey, man, if I've got a situation where I need a guy to make a play, he's on a very short list of guys. I'm like, yep, I'll take him.
Mark, I worked in Wisconsin before coming here to California, and so I got a lot of Packers fans on my timeline reminding anybody who will listen that the last time this team started 4-6, they went on to the NFC Championship. Did Aaron Rodgers and the Packers save their season Sunday with the win over the Cowboys?
Well, you look at their schedule. Their schedule is daunting coming down the stretch. So they're going to need to go, 5-2 at best, at worst, I think. But they put themselves in the conversation. They're not gonna usurp Minnesota. Minnesota's going to win that division. But you look at the NFC in general, and you can definitely pick out 4 or 5 teams that they have a chance to jump over. Like, I love what Brian Dable is doing with the New York Giants, but they're winning games. But I think they're going to come back down to earth to a certain degree. Like, I look at they got a bunch of second and third team, the guys that should be second or third team receivers that are starting on their offense. And hats off to them. They're doing a really good job. But I think eventually that evens out a little bit. And I think Brian Dable's coaching the heck out of them. The Seahawks, what the Seahawks are doing is great with all the rookies they're playing, and Pete's going to keep them competitive. But could you chase them down as well? Because basically, you're going to have to play the Niners a couple times. I don't know if they've already played the Niners once. I think, they did. I called the game. I should know that. But they got to play play the Niners one more time. I think the Niners are going to win that division. So I mean, there's a lot of teams that I think they can chase down, if you will, but they're going to have to be really good. And the thing that really helps a little bit is, did Christian Watson become a go-to guy for Aaron Rodgers, a guy that you can count on in critical situations? I've been saying this forever with Aaron Rodgers. He had Devontae Adams. Anytime they were in second down and long or third down and long, like, Devontae Adams is the guy he's going to. It's my go-to guy. I'm going to find him. I don't care if he's double teamed. He's a guy I have trust in. Aaron hasn't had that all season long. Did Christian Watson just become that guy that all of a sudden you go, that's my big play go-to guy, and now I've got some faith? And if that's the case, I think that offense could take off, especially the way they ran the ball last week.
Mark, we appreciate the time as always. We'll catch up with you soon. I think we got next week off, but we'll catch up with you after the holiday. Happy Thanksgiving, my friend.
You too. Take care.